They called her grotesque. Not even a name, just a slur wrapped in a joke. The crew laughed behind her back, snickered when she walked past, and made bets about who could last the longest looking into her six-lensed eyes without flinching. But I never joined them. Not because I was better than them, but because the first time I saw her, truly saw her, I couldn't look away. She was a Zarnothi, a species few had seen before the Unity Accords. Amphibious ancestry, 4 arms, sleek mottled skin in iridescent hues that shimmered differently depending on the light, and a face. Well, not human, not symmetrical, but still to me there was something oddly compelling about her. Her real name was Thalzira. She was the engineer on the freighter Dawn of Mira, same as me. While I handled external systems and repair runs, she worked in the engine belly, rarely seen, even more rarely acknowledged. Until the accident. A magnetic pulse from a rogue flare shorted half our systems. We dropped into gravity too close to the asteroid belt. Hull breached, guidance dead. I barely made it to the external stabilizer, fighting vacuum and panic, only to find it shredded beyond patchwork. We would have spiraled into a rock field if not for her. Thalzira rewired the core and AV systems by hand. 4 hands actually, while the rest of us argued and cursed and waited for rescue. She restored balance, saved the ship, and no one said thank you. Well, except me. I found her later in the service shaft. She was wiping thick fluid off her lower arms, the motion slow, methodical, almost sad. You saved us, I said, my voice echoing slightly in the metal hallway. She didn't look up. They would not have cared if I failed. I would have, I said quietly. That was the first time she looked at me for more than a second. Those many-faceted eyes of hers, glistening with tears or oil or both, fixed on me like I'd spoken a language only she knew. Middle. From that moment on, something shifted. We began working together more often. She was quiet, calculating, and intelligent beyond anything our academy-trained engineers ever displayed. She didn't boast or banter like the others. She just did the work. But when it was just us, alone in the humming warmth of the reactor bay or down in the tangled circuitry of vent systems, she spoke. Not often. Not about herself. But about ideas. About stars and entropy and soundless music vibrating between galaxies. About the Zarnothi belief that the universe was one endless rhythm, and all species dance to different steps within it. They laugh at me because they hear only their own music, she said once. I don't laugh, I replied. She stared at me a moment. No, you try to dance to mine. Smiled. I might have 2 left feet, but I'm trying. That made her laugh. A low, gurgling sound like thick water being poured into warm glass. It was beautiful. Rare. Surreal. The crew kept calling her names. Called me scale friend and amphib lover. I didn't care. They didn't know her. Didn't see the way she tilted her head when she solved a difficult problem, or the care she took when recalibrating systems others had long given up on. They didn't hear her whisper ancient lullabies in the crawlspaces, soft and low, songs meant to calm reactor fields and neural circuits alike. But I did. And slowly, inevitably I fell in love. It wasn't a crash or a burst. It was quiet, steady flow. The way her presence made silence feel like company instead of emptiness. The way her mind leapt between logic and metaphor like a dancer crossing starlight. The way she looked at me not with desire, but wonder, like I was something unexpected and delicate. I wanted to tell her. Every day I wanted to. But fear held me back. Not of rejection, but of hurting her. Of becoming one more name in a long line of humans who saw her only as something strange. Something ugly. But I couldn't live in silence forever. So on the final voyage of the Dawn of Mira, I decided to ask. Climax. We were parked in orbit over Hestara V, a garden world with storms the size of continents and auroras that danced through the troposphere. It was her favorite place. She liked to climb to the upper antennae where gravity was light and the air was thin and just sit. That's where I found her. The sky shimmered above us in bands of green and violet, painting her skin in shades of starlight. Her lower arms were curled around a rail, upper ones gently tapping a slow rhythm on the hull, a Zarnathi meditation. Zira, I said, stepping close. She turned, eyes catching the aurora. You do not often call me that. I should have started sooner. She blinked slowly. Why are you here? I came to give you something. She tilted her head. I pulled the small box from my pocket. Handmade wooden. I had carved it during our off hours over the past few weeks. Inside was a ring, not gold or gemmed, but made of woven metal wires, salvaged from our first repair mission together. The inscription inside simply read, "You saved me." I got on one knee. Her eyes widened, all six. Her hands stopped their rhythm. Her body stiffened as if frozen in time. Thalzira, I said, you are the most extraordinary person I have ever met. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what species, what culture, or what form you were born into. When I look at you, I see brilliance. I see kindness. I see a soul I want to walk beside for the rest of my life. She didn't move. Not even to breathe. So I'm asking, as a flawed, awkward human, will you bond with me? Will you marry me? Silence. For a full minute, she didn't say a word. I stayed there, kneeling, heart pounding in my chest like a war drum, wondering if I'd broken her, if I'd destroyed what little fragile trust we'd built. Then she finally whispered, so softly the wind nearly carried it away. You cannot mean this. I do, I said. With everything I am. She stared, trembling slightly. No one has ever. Her voice cracked. I am considered offensive to most humans. Defect. My people said so. That I lacked the symmetry to attract a mate. They're wrong. Her arms drew inward, almost protectively. Why would you choose me? Because you saw me when no one else did. Because you treated me with dignity. Because when I speak, you listen. And because when I'm with you, I feel more human than I've ever felt among my own kind. Another moment of silence. Then she stepped forward. Two of her hands gently touched my face. Cool, slick skin against my cheek. I do not understand human bonding rituals, she whispered. But I accept. A single tear rolled from one of her side eyes. I accept human. I will stand beside you. Forever. Ending. Word spread fast. The crew couldn't believe it. Some thought it was a joke. Others laughed. A few were even angry, like I'd betrayed my species. But I didn't care. Neither did she. We left the Dawn of Mira a cycle later. Built a quiet life on Hestara V, among the storms and the glowing skies. I taught her human music. She taught me how to dance in the rhythm of the universe. We made a home in the cliffs, overlooking the sea that pulsed with bioluminescent waves. When the Unity Registry came to document our union, the official looked confused. She's not classified as visually compatible, he said hesitantly. Smiled. I didn't marry a classification. I married her. Thalzira looked at me with those shining, multifaceted eyes. To him I am not ugly, she said softly.